In 1996, 5 families got together and founded River Point Church. Why was it called River Point? Because it was close to a river. And why an E at the end of point? Well, nobody knows. But what we do know is that it all started with a young new pastor who decided to pick up his life, wife, and 4 small kids and move to Texas with the hopes of pioneering something new while remaining faithful. Failure was an option, but sitting out was not. Patrick Kelly has been the senior pastor of River Point for 15 years now. River Point exists to bring people to Christ. The first service was held at the club in New Territory with over 210 in attendance. It was a great start, but the next weekend, the largest ice storm in Houston's history struck, and it looked as though River Point's early momentum would come to an end. But 208 people showed up anyway, most people having to walk to church. And through a lot of hard work and prayer, River Point began making an impact in Fort Bend County. As the church began to grow, the children's ministry was forced to use buildings, homes, and businesses located nearby, connected by a bus affectionately known as the River Point Railroad. In 1999, River Point moved to Kempner High School, and each weekend, 80-plus volunteers had to set up and tear down church. Attendance reached over 2,000 just after the 9/11 attacks on our country. Between the preaching, the music, and the people, something seemed to be working, and River Point kept growing. More families became connected to each other. More and more people gave their lives to Jesus Christ, and people in the community were getting some much-needed help. But in 2002, River Point moved into Dulles High School. Patrick would reflect back on Dulles as the walk in the desert. The church was overextended financially, the road crew was growing weary from dealing with setup and teardown of equipment each week, staff members were laid off, and attendance had plateaued. The people of River Point persevered, and their faith grew. It was a humbling season of work, and it was a time to take the next step in this mission and establish a permanent home. In April 2000, 96 acres costing $1.7 million was purchased by only 165 families. Later, approximately 350 families committed $6 million for the first phase of the $12.5 million present River Point campus on Ransom Road. Since then, River Point has grown into a larger and more mature body of believers. During the Connected campaign, over 600 families committed to paying down the original construction costs and expand the mission. Now, with about 4,600 members and over 1,200 families, it's time for River Point to start looking forward to the next 15 years and reaching our community for Jesus Christ. River Point has done a lot of great things in the past 15 years, and there's still a lot of work to be done. River Point is moving into a season of being more intentional about reaching teenagers in Fort Bend County. Kids today are like sheep without a shepherd and are up against so many destructive choices. Missouri City is another place where God is working, and River Point will be bringing the good news to the folks who live there. In 2012, River Point will be one church in 2 locations, continuing to focus on reaching people for Christ. Elkins High School will be the new location for River Point in Missouri City. God's love will work in thousands of lives, and our community will be changed forever because the people of River Point reached beyond themselves and cared about the outsider. You are River Point Church.